What's going on, guys? It's OKC here, and I'm sorry if the sound or the camera is a little bit bad at the moment. Obviously, it's my first time using a PC. Well, first time that I'm doing a video using a PC, and obviously I'll be doing much more of these. But right now, if the quality's bad or something, then I'm sorry about that. But today, we will be looking at the one and bloody only animation story, or My Story Animated, and this is a very good channel about people and their life. They come in here, their problems, or what's wrong with their life, and they come here just to tell everyone about their experience. For example, I saw my kidnapper after 10 years. I think that's meant to say kidnapper, but anyway, I don't know if there's a reference to that. My crush stopped talking to me, and after 10 years I found why. Ooh, see, stuff like that. But which one should we be watching today? I think I am hiding from my parents for years until my sister found me. Okay. Okay, it's not sponsored
Have you
by War
ever been
Thunder.
in a dilemma and you're willing to do anything, just anything, to come out of it? Well,
Yeah.
welcome to my life, where confusion is the order of the day. I would
Okay.
like you to call me Dawn. My
Dawn.
real name, though, is the only secret I'll be keeping away from you, as I really need your advice.
Ooh.
How can you help? First,
How can I?
like this video and hit subscribe. That way, even if you don't have any advice for me, the tiny voice in your head will tell you that you still helped. Okay, let's
Okay, I'll
go.
think about it.
My parents are from Bangladesh, but I was born in Miami. They moved to
Okay.
America for the sake of father's business. My sisters and I weren't allowed to step out of the house, just like that. Plus,
Okay.
we were homeschooled. My father used to tell us, "I don't want you girls mixing with them Americans and forgetting your roots." I used to think he was racist or something. I never had my privacy. I had to share a room with my nosy older sisters. You can
God.
imagine how frustrating it was when
Yeah,
I was
I
angry,
can
sad,
definitely
or
imagine.
frustrated, but couldn't go out for fresh air. All I could do was look out my window or run to the bathroom. Yeesh.
Okay.
Few days after my 15th birthday,
Okay, so far, I think this girl's got a pretty I wouldn't say odd, but a pretty crazy life at the moment. But we'll see where this continues.
my older sisters got married. The marriages were arranged and they looked so unhappy.
Oh.
But I was so happy that I was finally going to have my privacy. I used to think arranged marriages worked by having men line up in front of you, but my sister's experiences proved otherwise. I didn't care anyway. After my sister's wedding, I was no longer homeschooled and I was finally allowed to go to school like
education.
normal people. Life couldn't get any better.
Exactly, couldn't get
First, my own room, and now this. Dreams do come true.
Yeah.
I did well in school, had straight A's, and was
Ooh.
always praised by my teachers.
Wow, it's going from better to better. Flip it out. Look at this. Go, you go, girl.
I still remember one of my teachers telling my father, "Dawn is a smart kid. She's going to do great things in the future." Oh, sure I would. But one day, things started to go downhill. It began with my love for novels. I loved reading them and could stick my nose between them daily.
Oh,
I
that's
wasn't
good.
particularly into romance novels, but whatever genre I chose, there was a touch of romance in it, and so I became obsessed. I started visiting the local library and taking out many books at a time. To make things worse, I started noticing the way my father looked at my mom, how our next-door neighbor kissed his wife in the mornings, and the couples that held hands at the park. It was like I was surrounded by love, but it didn't want to come near me. Then, Jake happened. He was a new student in my class and super cute. I tried to talk to him many times, but he always had girls
I mean, I know how that feels, Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that.
swooning over him. But fate smiled on me. It was after school, and I was at the local library when
Nice
Jake
girl.
entered. Our eyes met, and he smiled. My heart melted. Did he just smile at me? He walked over to me and
God,
said,
classic
"Hi,
girls.
Dawn. I was hoping to find you here." What? How? I stammered. He told me he had been wanting to talk to me, but never got the chance to. And when he asked me if we could go for a walk in the park, I didn't think twice, and I agreed. "Why were you looking for me?" I asked when we got to the park. "I would like you to be my date for the school dance. Someone told me I could find you in the library." I almost jumped
like a
into the
pretty good
sky,
guy.
and out of excitement, I hugged him. Worst
Oh, wow.
decision ever.
Oh, God.
Seconds
here we go.
after the hug, I heard my name and turned. It was my father. He
Oh,
looked
dear.
angry and he charged towards us. He seized Jake by the collar and warned him to stay away from.
What? Oh, God. What kind of parents are these? The flip. My parents would never do this. Obviously, I don't think they'd want me to have a girlfriend right now, but, I mean, they probably would, actually. They probably wouldn't have any problem with it. But why? You can't just grab a person by the neck that you've never even met until this very moment. God, Jesus. That's like, it's like my flipping mum, you know, running up to my girlfriend and just strangling her. Oh my God.
For me.
Couldn't imagine
Then he
that.
grabbed my hand and dragged me home. When we got home, my father lashed out at me and told me that talking to boys was a taboo in our family. This is why I homeschooled you. You're not returning to school after your exams till college, he said.
That's a very
My
cautious
whole
father.
world was crumbling and fast. I thought about running
To be fair, most people would say in this situation that he's only doing this to protect her. But obviously, I think he's being a bit too overprotective because you get those overprotective parents. But no, I think this boy seems very nice right now. But will he turn?
away, but I was too scared. The next day at
Yeah.
school, Jake avoided me like a plague.
Oh my
And that
God.
wasn't all. Some students had videotaped what
Oh.
happened at the park, and I became the talk of the school.
Oh my
The
God.
humiliation was too much for me, and I ran home. For the first time,
See, you don't. It's funny because you'd only see this in America. You would never get this in the UK. And I'm not being what's the words? I'm not being nationalist. Is that the right term to use? But you'd only get this in America. I've not seen one story animation that's in the UK. Not seen one. I think it's all just in America, and because you see, you wouldn't be able to run from school. You wouldn't be able to run home.
I
yeah,
begged
this
my
happened.
father to homeschool me again. He did so gladly. Fast forward,
Wow.
and
See,
it
it's
was
the opposite in the UK. I don't want to keep pausing it, but in the UK, obviously, parents want you to get into school more. But here it's the opposite. He'd rather her be at home.
time
than
for
at
college.
school.
Now, you might be thinking that I would have more freedom now to mingle, but
Yeah, exactly.
my experience in
What
high
mingle
school
from?
threatened me. I didn't want a situation where my father would show up and beat up anyone.
Oh,
I
God.
graduated from college, and my father hit me with the news. Someone was
God.
coming for my hand in marriage.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought she was gonna say that he hit her. Jeez, that would have been bad.
And they had agreed. He has been waiting for this day since you were 16, but
Oh, skipped a
insisted
bit.
that you finish college, my father had said amidst smiles. They told me he lived in Bangladesh, and
Bangladesh?
since it would take time for me to be able to sponsor him as a citizen, I would need to go back to Bangladesh with him.
Wow.
I was calm until they showed me his picture. He looked older than my father. I told them I wasn't
God.
going to marry someone older.
What the hell? This is... Oh my God. This reminds me so much of Romeo and Juliet. I don't know why, but the first thing that popped into my head when I heard that was Romeo and Juliet. Only because I think Juliet in Romeo and Juliet was like 13. And I think the person that the father originally wanted her to marry was a guy that was like 30. So this is pretty much exactly the
than my
same.
father, and they got angry.
I can't
My
take
father
this.
told me how this man was a good friend.
Oh my God. I can't take this seriously. Obviously, it probably is real, but I just can't take it seriously.
Was a huge investor in his business, and that he was only 50.
Only 50?
Only
Oh my
50?
God,
And
what
I'm
the
just 25.
Jeez, that's half. That's half his age is her age. Oh my God. I can't
got
even- I don't even
mad.
want- yeah.
I still wanted to get a job and pursue my career. I still wanted to travel the world and find myself. And I also wanted to find love.
Exactly.
I
Miss
remembered when my
Chance.
mother used to say that if I squinted my eyes while looking at the sky, I would see my soulmate's name beside mine. I tried it, but all I saw was pollution.
Not real.
I had always seen myself sneaking onto the roof of a tall building with the man of my dreams every night. Look at the sky and talk about the entire universe. We had even gone shopping and mountain climbing a million times in my
Wow.
head. I even named him Jake. Have you
Jake.
ever wanted something for so
my
long
God,
and then
imaginary.
you begin to crave it? And if you don't have it, your body aches from restlessness. Whatever it was.
She actually got an imaginary boyfriend. Oh, jeez. That's when you're taking love to the next level.
As this 50-year-old rich Bangladeshi can't give it to me. My older sisters were invited to talk to me, and they told me how I was dumb, ungrateful, and undeserving of the privileges I got. I started feeling guilty, and I agreed to the marriage.
Oh my
the preparation
God,
started, and I was forced to talk on the phone with my husband-to-be every day. I also found out that he had a son my age who would be coming with him as well for the wedding. Oh, great. How much more humiliating can this get any?
Hang on, I don't think this top is right. I think I need to change it. Oh. That's more like it. Okay. Oh. I feel a lot more comfortable in this. Anyway, let's continue.
Every pebble of hope I had left of finding love on my own or meeting my Jake was vanishing. It was like the clock in my head was ticking and I was running out of time. My wedding was less than a month away. Even if I found someone, what would I do? Even if I summoned up courage, I walked up to my father and was like, "Hey, father, I don't want to marry your old friend. I want to find love." He would probably disown.
I think if your boyfriend heard that you agreed to a marriage with a 50-year-old, I doubt he'd want to spend more than a second with you. I don't want to be rude, but it's just, if I heard that someone that I liked flipping decided to marry a flipping 50-year-old guy,
me or have a heart attack, or
weird.
both. My mother, on the other hand, had told me that they were securing my future by giving me to this man. How is marrying me off to someone who is twice my age, who I have no feelings for, and who could die at any moment, a way to secure my future?
Exactly.
At least my older sisters got married off to younger men. "No one else will marry you," she always said. Maybe she was right. Maybe I wasn't looking closely at the polluted sky to see if it was telling me.
I mean, I know siblings are those siblings row all the time, but these American siblings are like flipping hell. They take it to the next level. Flipping. I mean, I'm not saying there's death threats in here, but I've seen some animation stories where there's like death threats and killing and oh my god.
That I had a future with this old man. I was so confused for hours, but the hours turned into days, days into weeks, and my wedding day was here. My sisters came around to help prepare me. They told me that all I needed to do was to endure, and I would be good. The wedding ceremony was painfully long, and I could see how my stepson kept looking at me like I was some gold digger. Hey, do you think I want this too? After the ceremony, my stepson accompanied me to the nearest hotel. The drive was too quiet, and so I decided to start a conversation with him. After all, we're going to be living together, right? He was rude and kept looking at me with disgust. I couldn't
I'm
take.
not surprised. You're dating a 50-year-old. Jeez, I'm not surprised. I don't want to be rude, but flipping hell, if it's just
it
not
anymore, and I
it's just
lashed
not
out at
normal.
him. He looked surprised at first, and then he said, "Maybe if you had lashed out at your father for trying to use you to pay off his debt, you won't be here. Or maybe you're a gold digger too. Why did you even go to school?"
God.
His words cut through me like a knife.
What the flip? Oh god, I just can't. I can't do this. What the flip? Now it's the flipping boys. Flipping hell, boys. I've always said this. The boys in America are so annoying. Every single UK person can back me up here. American boys are so annoying. Honestly, they're always so rude and I don't know. But flipping hell, talking like this to a kid, but flipping hell, he's just trying to talk to you and then you flipping. Oh my days, man. Americans.
And I tried hard to fight back my tears.
Confuse me.
After lodging me at the hotel, he turned to me again before leaving and said, "Even the least educated girls back in Bangladesh have more guts than you do."
Jesus.
Okay, that does it. I grabbed my suitcase and left the hotel. I was uncomfortable with the way everyone looked at me as I walked by. I was wearing a huge white wedding dress, but I didn't care. I took a cab to the train station and didn't even stop to think. At the train station, I paid for a ticket to Orlando. I didn't know anyone or what I was going to do there, but I needed to escape from everything for a while. It's been 6 months since I ran away.
Well, hang on.
I got a job as a wait.
Oh, sorry, I had like a flipping 5-second brain dead moment there. I've just realised that she moved to Orlando for 6 months. Okay.
Waitress to help me with little expenses while I look for a better job. I've always wanted to work at a media house, and so I started looking for internship opportunities. The good news? I finally found someone. He's everything like who I imagined him to be, and we do everything that I always wanted to do. He owns the coffee shop next to where I work, and we started dating 2 months after we met. I lied to him that my parents were dead and I'm an only child. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes. But he...
To be fair, it didn't say how long they knew each other for, or did it? I probably haven't been focusing, but still, you've been on ladder for 6 months, and you're already engaged to this guy. Jesus, what the flip, man? You can't just marry someone on the dot. But guy, I'm not even talking to this girl. My guy, you can't say to a girl, "Do you want to marry me?" Literally a few days, weeks, or months after you've met her. It has to be years, my guy. You have to know the girl. You have to know what she likes and blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? You can't do it straight after. It's got to be a date. This isn't an educational channel, so I just let.
He has no idea that I spy on my family every night using social media, and I feel like I'm still living with them from the amount of pictures they post, but they never posted anything about me. But like everything good in my life, my fantasy came to an end when I walked into his coffee shop last week, only to find out that one of my sisters was waiting for me.
Oh no.
She saw me and screamed my name. I ran out and away again. I'm on another train to New Orleans, and my phone has been ringing for hours. But I don't know what to say if I pick up the phone. He knows why I ran out the way I did. He was waiting with my sister.
My
I'm in love.
brain is everywhere right now. It's all over my room. I'm flipping out. I can't take any notice. So far I already know that she's run away. Now she's moving somewhere else because her sister has found her. Oh, flipping out.
But my relationship is built on lies. How do I tell him my parents are still alive? I have sisters, and I'm married to a man in Bangladesh. Should I go back and see if I can fix everything?
Well, yes.
What about my first marriage? I probably wouldn't last for long before my past catches up with me again, and so I might just end up spending the rest of my life running away. What would you do if you were in my position?
What I'd do if I was your position? Well, what I'd do in your position, honey, is I'd do whatever the blood I want. That's just how the world works. That's just how the world works, honey. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit cringy, me calling her honey, so I'm sorry for that. But still, you gotta do what you want to do. Your parents can't force you to marry someone. It's got to be straight to parents and say, "Mum, Dad, I know you're working hard for this, but this is what I want." And if they're gonna have to, if they accept it, then fine. If they don't, you just have to live with it. Or carry on doing what you're doing and just run away. But anyway, yeah, that was the video. I know it was very short, but only because I just want to do a little tester. But obviously, if you want more videos like this, do like and obviously comment and subscribe. They're the main ones. And I will see you on the next video. I don't know why I'm saluting. Goodbye.